Great. So let's get out of this mess here and go straight into the BC environment. And here I am on my site. And I'm going to, in the back end, we're going to be just targeting this large underscore product.html file that's inside of our layouts and online shop folder here. And this is our actual, this is the default layout that's in the system right now. And what I need to do right off the bat is ask myself, what of all these tags and stuff and all this functionality that's currently in the system, what do I want to maintain? And in this example, I'm going to just leverage all the existing elements that are on the page right now, and maybe bring in some other ones to show you the power of the multiple templates. What I'm going to do just to keep things simple is I am going to kill this comments form just to keep the code short, because this is a lot of code, but you could bring this in whenever you want it as well. Say you wanted this on particular products, you could leverage the multiple templates to do that. And again, some of the stuff you could pull off with CSS and JavaScript, but you've got multiple areas that's going on and can get very convoluted quick. And especially the more JavaScript and DOM manipulation that you bring to the table, the slower the page is going to behave. And you're going to find that this JS templating is just snappy as heck. And so if we come into the back end here, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to build this real time here. So this might be kind of a slow process, but once we get cooking, I'm going to be using some helper code to get us along quicker. But I do want to show you that basically what you're going to do is come in here and gut this entire layout. So I know that I'm going to be using the large image. I'm going to be using poplets. So I'm pulling all these tags out that I know I'm going to be using, and then we're going to analyze these tags. Sale price, the in stock I want to use. Here's the input field for the add to cart, and here's the actual add to cart button. I'm going to snag that. Okay. And then here's that form itself, the actual comment form. If I killed that, we see that we're left with just not a lot of HTML. I'm going to do that now. I'll just hit save, and it'll just be easier to see and work with. So here is our actual starting template. So what I'm going to do is actually keep this template in place and make this one of our JavaScript templates. But let's look at these tags first. Tag large image. What this normally does on the page is it literally outputs an image tag, and if we come in here and we throw underscore path, it will just render the a path to the image, that's what we want, because we're going to be doing a combination of throwing these values as data attributes to an element, and then items that carry a lot of HTML. We're going to actually throw those into divs and grab them using jQuery, grab the values or the contents of those. We'll parse those divs. So let's figure out which actual tags do that. So this particular tag itself, we can throw in a data attribute. Poplets. This carries a lot of HTML with it. So this is one that we're going to actually want to throw inside. I'll separate these guys. We're going to actually throw those inside of a div. The description itself, you don't have any control over this particular, whatever the client ends up throwing inside of the WYSIWYG editor, this is what's going to be outputted there. So I'm going to consider that as just a wild card with just who knows what kind of HTML in it. So I will throw that down here. Tag sale price, that comes with usually with the $sign and a value or whatever the currency symbol is. That's fine. Let's keep that as a data attribute, and this will make sense in a second. Tag in stock, that's just throwing, giving you NA or how many are in stock. Add to cart input field. This is pretty much going to render some HTML as well, so I'll pull that out. That's going to be rendering an input element. This tag add to cart, it literally does have HTML in it, so I'll bring that out. So this is basically all we'd be working with in this case. But we know that Business Catalyst has a lot more fields to work with. And what I would do if you're creating your first one is why not bring in pretty much as many as you can think of. And so we know that we have tag underscore custom one. That's one of our fields. We have 4 of those. But remember, I'm going to be actually using custom one to define our template. So I'm going to pull that out of the mix. We don't need to we're gonna output that somewhere else, not in our actual where we're defining all of this information for mustache.js to work its magic, which will literally just be like an article element with data attributes and divs inside of it. So we've got those custom tags. We know that we have tag grouping. This is an important one. This carries HTML, so I'm going to bring it down here. It's got HTML with it. We've got tag underscore attributes. I'm not going to add them all because there's a bunch, but these are the basic ones that you're going to run into. Capture details, that's one that's used very often. So that outputs a text area. So there we go. There's HTML. So these are guys that we're going to be throwing down inside of divs and parsing to grab their values. If you wanted to, you could bring in commenting as the rating, underscore rating feedback. So it would be tag underscore rating feedback. So these would be like rating feedback. That's it, I think. Rating feedback. Yeah. This is going to output actual comments. So you could that comment form that I bailed out of. You could bring that into the mix as well. So this thing is going to bring HTML with it. Other popular items would be related products. So we can output related products to the page. That's going to be heavy with HTML. We couldn't really define that as a data attribute. We have this is a very important one, but the item name. So this could go both ways, and I think I'm going to consider it down here with the HTML items just so I can output that to the page. And this is actually kind of cool that search engines, this is still going to be semi-search engine friendly because these values will be outputted to the page in a hidden div, and that's debatable if that's good or bad, but my experience, it's not such a terrible thing as long as you're not obviously spamming people or being shady about your markup. In this case, we're not. We know we're not being shady, so we shouldn't get dinged.